Greetings, community. It's Kevin of Entropy and Comics. It's great to see you guys. And Spec News. I definitely have information that I've mentioned before. I just want to reiterate this just so either those in which that may be new to the channel, I welcome you with open arms. And this information to be new to you. For those of which have already seen it, the redundancy is just to hammer into the fact that this information actually is rather important. TK, I can't believe that you actually beat Las Cruces in here. I really can't. And that says a lot. Not only that I am grateful for your attendance here, that no one beats Las Cruces. I don't know how that happened. So, hey, rad. Again, what I really want to talk to you guys about is Image Comics. I made mention of this before. And then I'll go ahead and try to be as non-boring and as brief as possible, actually, and get into a lot of the meat of this. To get in a little bit of history, Image Comics, as you well may know, started is a bunch of ideas with a bunch of kids that just basically want to succeed from the way things were done in the past. All right, so to do so, I'm not going to get into all this stuff. You can look this up, but what I want to get is to, like I said, some important details, which is the fundamental idea of what they want to do, how they did it, which was they ended up using Malibu Comics and using their distributorship and their publications to just then stand on their shoulders and leap off from there, in which they end up making Image Comics. Now, Image, unfortunately, during the time was not only a part of the whole, I guess, comic crash, if you want to deem it so, but they were part of it. And I'm not saying they were a cause or whatever. What I'm basically saying is in the time in which that they were formed in such a youth time in which that crisis happened, that it really did a lot of damage to them. And there might have even been an aspect of stigma to them being a part of the cause. It's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is this. They made it through. There's a lot of people that didn't. Defiant didn't. Valiant didn't. I can go on with a bunch of the indies at the time that didn't make it. Even the ones that assisted them, Malibu, didn't make it, even though everyone were assimilated into other industries. Moving forward, Image has proven itself, not only proven itself, but if you look to see exactly what major writers, artists, letterers, everyone that's involved in the comic industry, one of their main dreams is actually to succeed away from the big two and actually go to Image, because Image still holds true not only the fundamental idea and principle and dream of what they were founded on, but they're able to deliver that in a way they've never been able to deliver that before. I'm not going to get into what's happening with all distributorship. You guys know what's happening with Diamond and everything that's gone. It's on the lips of everyone. What I want to get to is how this actually aids as far as Image is concerned, being that they're considered the top three, the biggest independent, the smallest of the big three, however you want to view it. The reality is this. If you look at what's happening as far as what's going to be dropping from July on to the end of the year, which most people are not privileged to, what I ask of you is just take consensus of this. See how many titles are dropping from DC in those months, July, August, September, October, and so forth. See what titles are dropping from Marvel outside of the major Marvel events that tie in together. See what they're dropping individually as far as what individual titles are carrying their publication through. Meaning, you're going to see Image carrying way more titles than either the one of the two previously mentioned. Not only that, but at times in months, you're going to see them actually challenge how many titles that they're dropping, even if you add the other two big two together. What does that really mean? Look what Image is dropping, all right? And my point I'm leading up to is where they're going to be at in July, but let's just look at what they did this week. Crossover, Decorum, Department of Truth, multiple printing stuff, Philadelphia, trade stuff, Noctera, Redneck, Shadecraft, which I've been telling you guys about. You able to find one? I'm hearing people, oh, they were everywhere. They're nowhere. Right. Let's see how long they last in the next week. Let's move on. Spawn. How big has Spawn been on? Moving on. 2 moons. Second printing of number 1 and number 2 dropping. That was just this week. I can go back or forward and I could drop all kinds of titles. Again, actually challenging the other big two. My point, by the time July actually hits and all the titles that I see really start rolling out for Image, which they've been kind of holding on, everyone in the entertainment industry, I don't care if it's music, I don't care if it's movies, I don't care what it is, they've been holding on to money because they can't convince their investors to go ahead and spend the money in the time in which the COVID situation was happening. Point? Everyone's getting their shots, everyone's going back to work. Investors feel confident in investing in the money into the industry because they know that the money will come back, being that people are able to now again go out on their limited means, go into bars, listen to stream stuff, go to a small capacity movie theater. Multiple streaming sites are now doing theaters both in which are reconverted rhodiums, again going back to the drive-in situation. All the money is starting to trickle into the entertainment industry. All the money is starting to be invested back into the entertainment industry. When I say entertainment, I'm using it as a global thing. I mean comics, I mean magazines, I mean, acting, I'm talking TV, I'm talking game shows, I'm talking everything that either people were looking to invest in that they didn't get a chance to pull the trigger, things that were optioning that they weren't able to actually even do any type of adaptation, any type of storyboarding. Nothing was able to be done because they couldn't put the money in there. Money's being thrown in there. I know I've been rambling on, and I knew I would make it brief, and it's only been a little over 7 minutes, but it's all been about one thing. Image Comics is going to be slapping everyone in the face come July and forward. When their titles drop, as far as, Spawn and everything's concerned, which people talk about, what has this person been doing now, what that person doing? Did you realize that people like, Silvestri and McFarlane and all these guys, even though you may not see them in the actual books as far as doing work that you may known them as when they first entered the industry, these are the ones that are carrying Image. These are the CFOs. These are the CEOs. These are the officers in which that are moving Image forward. What are they doing? They're offering people like Zdarsky, Tynion, all these people that have been hanging out and making everyone else big on the Marvel, DC, and so forth place, and they're finally able to deliver what they want, which is their babies into basically an incubator large enough to go ahead and hold a capacity that is able to get options from major industries. People that have been looking at stuff are really looking at Image. Really looking at Image. Yes, unless you're a major actor bringing in your own comic book and you're bringing into a smaller place, or you're going to have the luxury to be able to produce something or actually option it or whatever and talk to major production. But I challenge you outside of Marvel and DC to show me who's producing more actual film as far as from their titles than Image Comics. Image Comics. You're probably buying a lot more than you even thought. And when you think of independent, you probably weren't even really thinking that you were buying as much from Image as you thought. Wait till July happens. That's pretty much me from Entropy. And stay tuned. I will be right back in a little bit. I'm going to be talking some Spec. So I'll be giving you my picks. Obviously, there's going to be some Image in there. And you'll be slow seeing that build up. I will not only be giving you my picks, but I'll be giving you the exact covers, how many I'm buying, and why. So, again, from me at Entropy and Comics, you stay well, and I'll be seeing you soon.